This demo is going to be on a homemade sanded board. It's masonite and untempered on the smooth side with a coat of gesso and acrylic paint with a couple of tablespoons of triple fine pumice stone. So here we go. This is a hardware store item. FFF finest grade pumice stone. Marble dust is the same thing, roughly. We don't know what's in all these pastels because they guard their formulas very tightly. This board, the pink board, has been demonstrated with just different colors. So that's what I'm going to start with, and you're going to see me do some wet techniques first. I'm going to use odorless mineral spirits. The brand that I like the best is Gamsol. It's by Gamblin, and it's odorless mineral spirits. Now I'm going to show you. I like the odorless mineral spirits better than water. One of my favorite tricks is just put it on and let it drip. I've had mixed up for about 10 years. Let's put some of that on here. Ooh, it was wanting to come out of there, wasn't it? Really not mixing medias because they're all made with the same pigment. There is really no reason for what I'm doing. Because I like light up here, that's kind of why I picked that. As they say in Wiki World, just forgets and chiggles. Okay? I want to see, or I just want to do a face. That's my go-to. Very light. I'm using the sanguine. And there's an eye there. Did you see the trick I just did? Eye, eye, eye. And there's your perfect proportion for an eye. And as always, I don't get them right the first time. Nose comes down the width of these two eyes. Here's your eyebrow. Here's the nose, comes in about right there. Now the upper lip has a V in the middle and comes out, and the upper lip is solid. And you come on down, come under the lower lip and around the chin. Here's the side of face. Okay. Very light. Just a little bit darker. Just scratchy. And that's about like that, and that's about like that. See, I've got her eyes tilted up, which I didn't really want, so we're going to raise that one and lower that one. The darkest spot is right there on the inner side of that eye by the bridge of the nose. Now having it on pink board will affect my skin tone, so I'm just going to scumble with I'm using the side. I'm just going to scumble on top with that, and then we'll come back in with this red. And again, just scumble. And this ochre color. And then I'm going to come back with, and then a little bit of green. Now, why does green work for the shadow shape when a ball on the face, and the chin is a ball, the cheeks are a ball, the eyes are a ball? What makes green curve cool? Now, if you've got warm light up here, you're going to have cool light over here, the reflection. What makes that work is that green and red are complements. Okay? Here's a good color. Fumble. This towel on my lap not only protects my legs, gives my hands a place to rest. Now let's put in, what in the world? That's a white pastel with something stuck to it. Okay, again, I'm not blending. We'll come back in now and neaten that up just a little bit. I'm glazing the red hard pastel over those softer pastels, and it's given me a little bit of a this is a real good case where I'm blending with a hard pastel. Push and pull. And a few little highlights in the eyes. A little more right there. A little bit right there. Right there. Very light touch. Very, very light. Scumble a little bit of red over that green that I put on. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit of black in her eyes. See that? It's just very tiny little marks just give you the illusion of an eye. And her nose and mouth aren't lined up, so we're going to move that just a hair. And we would have just a little highlight right there. Nothing serious. But because that cheek hits here and curls, it'll be light here, and this one will be a little bit lighter there. Just touch it with my fingers. Not too shabby. I love doing this. Can y'all tell? Okay, bring some darks. Just for you. I still don't like the way that mouth looks. Ooh, baby, baby. Now right across the nose, where it dents in, right here is cool. Because the brow bone is what protects the eyes, so it protrudes from the eyes. It curves out. And we'll have a little bit of a eyeballs are never white. I like to bring marks out from the face. Don't just follow that shape. There you go. The lower lip is in shadow on this side. And I've not begun to fill up the tooth on this board. A little bit lighter right there. I got a little bit too aggressive over here with the hair. You want about an eye's width. And that hair could have been a real hair. Yeah, just something like that coming down. Doesn't have to be hair color. Correct the drawing just a little. Nothing serious. Soften some edges. And that eyebrow is wonky. Let's take that down just a hair. And just by adding another color on top of it, you can make it do whatever you want it to do. Oh wait, I have a short one. Doesn't really matter. Purple. Put some color in the eyebrows other than brown. And very judicious with your black. Make some little marks that kind of look like hairs. Proportions are about right. Let's check them. So we have 1, 2, oops, there's a place for improvement. One, 2, 3, almost 1, almost 1. So 5 eye widths is the skull, which would be about like that. So I'm pretty close to there. Okay, now 2 eyes wide from brow bone. No, that's not right. Her nose is a little bit too high. Mouth's a little bit big. But you know what? I like her. A little more black right up in there. I'm having trouble controlling that big stick. Notice how I'm using the hard and soft pastels together. And I'm letting that background work for me.
Hi, I'm Deborah Parkhurst, and I'm going to draw a dragonfly for you today. I'm using some inexpensive drawing paper, but it is acid-free and it's got a pretty fine grain on it. I'm using my favorite Prismacolor pencil sets, and I also have some General's Kimberly watercolor pencils, not expensive watercolor pencils, but they work good. So we're going to try and draw a dragonfly. I've been doing some sketching and I've got some sketches here to work from. Okay, a dragonfly, I'm going to start out with head here, and it's mostly eyes. So I'm going to just try to sketch in 2 circles here, touching for the eyes. And then in front of him there are a bunch of other little eyes. So I'm just going to put some little circles there to represent that. And then this area right here is very, very dark if you look at macro photography of dragonflies. And then these eyes form the head. Kind of like that. And then dragonflies have a neck. And I've seen different kinds of neck on different kinds of dragonflies. But this one I'm going to make here is basically a little cone shape for his neck. And then I'm going to go into the body, which comes out, it's kind of fat. I'm going to draw basically 2 ovals here for the first part of the thorax. And then I'm going to come down with the rest of the body and make a shape. Kind of like a water glass. And that's his basic body structure. Now the legs and the wings are all going to come out of this little section right here. So I might draw some suggestion of some legs here, and they've got their insects, so they've got 6 legs. And this is where my wings are going to come. But I'm going to finish the body first before I do the wings. And the reason I'm going to do that is that the body's a certain length. It's about, his body right now is about from here to here. So I want 2 more of those. I'm just going to roughly measure them out. So the rest of his body is actually little segments. I gave myself some guidelines to work with. And then I'm going to make the rest of the segments of his body. And damselflies are almost the same. Their heads aren't quite as complex. A damselfly is smaller. It's much smaller. And I'm sure there's technical differences, but I don't know what they are. And damselflies tend to land with their wings closed. So then his wings are going to be about the length of his body. I'm just going to give it a rough measurement here. There, and he's got 4 wings, and they all come out of this little place here. And his wings tend to come out and then dip down a little bit and then come back out. And they're broad wings. And then this bottom part is just a smooth sweep. So there's one wing. And then the other wing, the bottom wing, is going to come out, kind of go down like that, and then come out and do this other broad sweep. Now it's different here. It's real skinny and then it comes down. Not quite that much, more like that. So I'm going to attempt to do that on the other side now. Okay, so that's basically our dragonfly. His wings are full of veins. And I'm just going to begin to sketch some of them here. And they full of branches, just like trees. This is all with my HB pencil. I'm going to use a 3B pencil now, just to get some more gradient. Okay, now we're ready to add some color. We're going to try a cobalt blue here, trying to add some blue. I really like the green on the wings. It's real subtle, real soft. A lot of dragonflies have quite a bit of clear in their wings. Now, I would like his eyes to be darker, but I think I'm going to do that with my pencil.